A letter to Spence Wilson and the Wilson family, owners of Holiday Inn. Formal notice of alleged deceptive and fraudulent sales practices at Holiday Inn Club Vacations. Jarma Spence Wilson. This letter serves as formal notice of alleged deceptive and fraudulent practices occurring under your leadership at Holiday Inn Club Vacations, HICV. While your organization has long relied on high-pressure sales tactics to drive timeshare purchases, what is now taking place transcends aggressive marketing and enters the realm of fraud. I have direct evidence of your sales manager admitting, on video, that consumers are expected to sign documents placed in front of them without being given the opportunity for full review, understanding, or disclosure. This recorded statement confirms the existence of a coercive sales environment and raises serious concerns about your organization's adherence to ethical and lawful conduct. In my case, I was instructed to sign here as part of a routine ownership update, specifically to complete the transfer of joint ownership with my partner into sole ownership under my name. I was explicitly told this was the sole purpose of the documentation, and I asked your staff to confirm this, which they did clearly and without hesitation. They claimed their system was down and therefore could not provide a complete copy of the document for my review. Regrettably, I trusted their explanation. Believing that no one could lawfully initiate a mortgage in my name without following the required procedures outlined under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Truth in Lending Act, and other consumer protection laws, I trusted that proper safeguards were in place and that such a transaction could not occur without my informed consent and full participation. However, the signatures collected during that process were subsequently used to support a new, fabricated mortgage, one I neither requested nor consented to. Even more concerning, this alleged mortgage was created using the same points I had already paid off under a previous loan. Your team falsely claimed I had sold back my original ownership and then repurchased the same points, now attached to a new and unauthorized debt obligation. This is not only illogical, it is unethical, deceptive, and potentially criminal. Like any reasonable consumer, I immediately rejected the manufactured debt and formally disputed the legitimacy of any mortgage account created through deceptive and unauthorized means. The response I received from your company has been appalling. This is a clear case of fraud, a criminal act, yet instead of addressing it with transparency and accountability, your organization has subjected me to a pattern of threats and intimidation. On multiple occasions, representatives from your company issued written threats, each of which I was able to disprove by showing they were based on false or manipulated information. These actions appear intended to instill fear and coerce compliance, rather than resolve a fraudulent transaction ethically or lawfully. In the process of attempting to dispute and clear this illegitimate debt, I have uncovered what appears to be a deeply troubling arrangement between your company and certain attorneys, an alleged scheme in which consumers are coerced into paying to settle or exit fraudulent mortgages, with those same attorneys receiving financial incentives from your organization. If true, this would explain the alarming pattern in which no attorney is willing to pursue legal action against your company on behalf of defrauded consumers, effectively creating a closed loop of manipulation and obstruction of justice. Furthermore, the misconduct does not appear to be limited to private attorneys. Even local law enforcement in jurisdictions where your resorts operate, including Horry County, South Carolina, appear to be complicit or willfully indifferent. The conduct of Officer Stair, when I attempted to file a police report against Holiday Inn Club Vacations as directed by the state's attorney's office for a criminal investigation to be initiated, was deeply threatening and inappropriate. When I calmly asked why law enforcement refused to take reports regarding your company's fraudulent practices, he immediately adopted an aggressive tone and intimidating posture and asked, "Are you accusing me of something?" I quietly shook my head no, but his reaction spoke volumes. His defensiveness, hostility, and immediate reach for handcuffs suggested more than coincidence. Despite the clear evidence and multiple acknowledgments of the fraud committed against me, I have been forced to initiate legal action in court to have this illegitimate loan removed. I now face a hearing, not because I owe this debt, but because your organization has chosen to fight rather than correct a known wrong. The attorney your company has retained to oppose me is reportedly being paid double the value of the fraudulent loan in legal fees, to defend conduct your own employees have acknowledged as improper. From any perspective, ethical, legal, or financial, this is indefensible. As a businessman, you must recognize the absurdity of investing more in protecting fraud than in resolving it. I want to ensure you are fully aware of the circumstances surrounding my experience with your company. The conduct I have endured, from the initial act of fraud to the ongoing efforts to intimidate, silence, and retaliate against me, is unacceptable and must be addressed. I am actively pursuing every available legal remedy and will not be deterred by your company's attempts to evade responsibility. As a businessman or businesswoman, what would you do if this had happened to you? And why would you expect me to do anything differently?